Hello, my name is Alex. I'm a pre-sales engineer at Amdocs Ocean. I'm here to introduce you the ZUZ developer portal with all the cool features it offers to create and quickly monetize mobile applications on a massive range of devices. ZUZ is a reliable cloud-based web arena enabling coding, marketing, and monetizing your applications. As a ZUZ developer, you can also package, test, and submit web or cross-platform mobile applications. In order to make application development easier, ZUZ comes with ZUZ APIs such as location, SMS, advertising, payment, and much more. Today, I want to focus on an essential ZUZ service for mobile application development, the ZUZ device abstraction. As a ZUZ developer, you will be able to develop cross-platform mobile applications with a device abstraction authoring tool called Workbench. I'm going to show you the amazing possibilities that it offers and how easy it is to create mobile applications by simply writing XML and Java code. Indeed, with this tool, a single code can run on all the major mobile platforms, including iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, Brew, Java, and much more. To get started with the device abstraction tools, we need to register and download the SDK. To do so, let's go to www.zuz.com. Once there, go to the Developer Portal section by clicking on this link from the home page. Then click the Enter the Developer Portal link here. As the tools we need are from the ZUZ device abstraction, click this link in the footer menu to enter. To download the Workbench, we need to sign in first. To do so, click the Sign Up to ZUZ button here. A first-time user will need to register on ZUZ in a few easy steps. But as I already have an account, I can directly sign in by clicking here. Simply enter the email address and the password you used. Then, just click the Sign In button. Now that we are logged in, we can access the download section from the top menu here. This section details the content of the SDK and the requirements to run the Workbench. Click the download button here. We can now choose between the ZUZ version of the Workbench that gives access to the playground to develop, run, and test on the ZUZ platform, and the on-premises version of the Workbench for members of our other developer program. Let's choose the ZUZ version by clicking here. Once downloaded, run the SDK setup and follow the on-screen instructions to complete the SDK installation. It only takes a couple of minutes. The Workbench is based on an Eclipse environment, enabling the rapid development of mobile applications. ZUZ device abstraction is application agnostic, which means that you can create all kinds of applications such as on-device portals, video and music players, location-aware apps, etc. You can even integrate web content and social networking services. With only one project developed with Workbench, you can create a batch of installers to literally spread your application on hundreds of devices in one click. In the next steps, I am going to show you the development lifecycle of a cool soundboard application. Let's start by opening the Workbench. The first time you run the Workbench, it shows a welcome screen that provides shortcuts to documentation and much more. Click here to access the list of samples. At the end of the list, in the Fun section, is the soundboard sample. To open it, just click on its name. The soundboard project will load into the Workbench. Once opened, the project is automatically compiled. Before we try it out, let's have a look at the UI. Several panels are available, including the device list here. It lists all available devices and features filters, family definitions, and updates from our central device database. Next panel is the service browser here. This panel shows all files and folder structure of the open project, from pictures and libraries to source files. Next interesting panel is the servers panel, here. For now, it only contains the emulator, which is a local instance of the publishing server, but we'll see a bit later how to use it. Let's go back to the most important one, the service desk, here. This one provides access to all source code, libraries, resource files, adaptation framework, and components used in the current project. Before we dive in on all these, let's sign into the ZUZ portal from the workbench. To do so, use Login from the ZUZ menu here. When prompted, use the same email address and password as the ones used on the ZUZ website. Then just click OK. Now that we've logged in, two playground servers have appeared, Basic and Submission. Let's focus back on the service desk, starting with having a look at the source files. As we can see here, source files are split between client and server. Basically, code positioned on the client will run on the device, while the server ones will be processed first by the server on demand before being sent to the device for execution. As I just shown, moving a section of code from server to client or the other way around is as simple as a drag and drop. The project checks dependencies and recompiles accordingly. Now, let's have a look at libraries. Libraries can be of three types: client, server, or script. Client and server are similar and are simple jar files that can be utilized from Java snippets within the application code. Script libraries allow developers to build reusable blocks of codes using Strumezzo's instance script pure client language. As we can see here, Java libraries can be classic ones for XML parsing or JDBC drivers, for instance, or any custom ones to integrate with legacy systems or third parties. Let's have a quick look at project resources. In the same way, resources can be on the client or on the server. They can be organized in folders and usually are media assets or properties files. Components are code blocks ready to be integrated to enable ZUZ developers to build mobile applications as quickly as possible. They cover most UI widgets required to build a modern application and interface with our adaptation framework to fit most devices' look and feel. Let's focus now on a key component of device abstraction, the adaptation framework. In this section of the service desk, we can find all the information, properties and logic on how our application will behave on different screen sizes and shapes, both globally and screen per screen. Let's have a look at this screen layout. As you can see, a screen layout is a simple XML file that defines UI containers and subcontainers, identifying them and describing their behaviors. Going one step further, we can visualize the layout by using the Layout Preview panel here. The layout now appears even more clearly, allowing fast trial and error adjustments. Let's see this in action by changing the margin value here. Looking better now, I think. We can easily visualize the effect here. Now, let's see how other screen sizes behave with this layout. Let's pick up a landscape-oriented screen. We can now see how our application will adapt to such a resolution. Device abstraction-based applications are coded using a simple XML-based language. It mixes XML and script for UI and interactions management, and Java snippets for business logic and all backend related actions. Let's have a look at this source file. As you can see, the editor uses syntax highlighting, and I'm going to show you it supports also code completion both for XML and Java code. I'm here adding an item in the XML section, and you can see the code completion working well. Let's remove that. Now, go to Java section and add some code. Again, you can see the code completion fully working, allowing for easy and efficient coding. Almost done. Here. Every time I save, the project is compiled again. Now that we've seen a bit of code, let's have a look at the result by running the emulator. To run your project in the integrated emulator, just click on the emulation button there. Now, we need to select a couple of devices on which we're going to emulate the service. Selecting the Galaxy S, and I'm using the filtering from the device list to get a landscape device, a Windows 1, the Blackjack 2. It's done. The service compiles again, runs a local copy on the server side, and will soon start the emulator. That's it. So this is the emulator running the application we've been loading since the beginning. We can see that there's two devices that we emulate behave in a very differently. The first one has a focus, and you have to press fire to trigger the noise. On the other hand, the Galaxy S is a touchscreen device and therefore has no keyboard focus and triggers the sound by just tapping on it. That's it for the emulation. Next thing I want to show you is how to publish the project to the ZUZ playground. It starts by clicking here. As a standard registered ZUZ developer, I have 2 slots on the ZUZ portal to publish applications. I use this one for the soundboard. The slot being selected, let's click Next. I can now choose what devices I want an install file to be generated for. I'll keep the 2 we emulated earlier as my selection. Part of the publication process features the customization of the provisioning site. This web page will host the generated install files and allow users to directly go there and download the application for their mobile. Let's change the welcome text a bit, and then press Finish. The project is getting published now. We can see the progress by clicking here. Once the server part of the project is published, clients for the selected devices are generated. We can see the progress here too. Generated clients have been published on the provisioning site, but are also stored on your computer for later use. Let's see them. We can see the folder structure that has been created. Let's have a look at the user experience on an actual device. Let me go to m.zuz.com, where the provisioning site was created, and download on the link for the device I'm using, which is the Galaxy S. Once downloaded, I just launch the installation. Once installed, the application is as any other application and will be found among the others. In our case today, the application is named Soundboard and will be here. I started. If you remember from the emulator, I have a loading screen which loads the graphical assets and the sounds, and I have my soundboard with the particular sound that we're using here. And that's it. I can quit it. Well, this is it for this quick workbench tour. As you can see, every web developer can now easily create a mobile application that will be running on hundreds of devices. On top of that, ZUZ enables you to monetize your application using in-app advertisements, to sell your application by publishing it on the ZUZ App Store, or even to make it available across every mobile app store all over the world. That's it for today. See you soon on ZUZ Portal.